So I'm here to introduce you today to what this city's all about. And that's creativity and the expandalism of music without prejudice. We built a tower here at the University of Creativity because we believe that this is a beacon of creativity the world round. That people look to Nashville because they know a lot of the greatest talent is here. We've got a mayor that's and a whole county and counties and city institutions that are all about promoting that. We have regular shows here from the Opry to hundreds of clubs playing, and we believe that music, and especially what we do here at the University of Creativity, can be broadened even more, and that we can take flavors of country and carry it into all different places. And therefore you are here today to talk about how we're going to get the world dancing. Get everybody dancing, man. This whole project in Electroshine is totally about getting everybody dancing and throwing parties. And then that doing as much continued good as it can do, because we've been so blessed, John and I both, to have had careers in this town that have enabled us to do a lot of great things, and we want to continue to do that. There's a lot of kids need to be fed in a lot of places still, and we can make it all better. So Electroshine came around as a dream and a vision of mine about 3 years ago. I just start feeling like we need to be dancing more. And the whole time, we'd do Big and Rich shows, and then John, J-Wall, whoever, we'd end out going to some club, and we're busting through the middle of it like Soul Train, going, guess what? Oh, and wow, these are the same people here that were at the event we just did. Realizing that audience all loves to dance too. And we're going like, well, then let's just start working on it. And in the midst of starting to work on it, because that's what we do here at the University of Creativity, it's always a bunch of creative people mashed together. And as we travel around the world, we find even more. And in this case, it was a fiddle player and a banjo player. It kind of flopped on my doorstep. I met the fiddle player at a dinner at a preacher's house. And he was so good, I said, you need to drop by the next day, come by the studio and play me some of your stuff. He dropped by, he brings a buddy with him who's a banjo player, and they started playing. I said, hold on a second, I need to get in the middle of this. And I sat right in the middle of them, and I heard it coming at me from both sides, and I'm going, this is some of the best talent I've ever heard. Why don't y'all just stay here for a while? Well, a year later, they're still here. And then I ran and started, seeing that, I've gone through, felt the waves in music, just all around the country that have come and gone. I mean, disco was big to me because that was music that allowed me to meet my high school girlfriend, get people together, get to know each other, they have fun, you meet people, it spreads a continuation of goodness and loving everybody. So in meeting these different talents, then I started meeting electronic producers, synthesis guys who I met one, Che Baca, and the same thing. Like, well, we started working. One night I told him the idea. He's like, well, wow, let's go put something together. We put a beat together, sent it to Nashville. Next thing you know, my guys here are putting a fiddle on it, sending it back out there, and it just kept progressing. And to what became our first song, I'm about to show you here next, that just kind of made this whole thing take off. Because what we did, it felt so good, and everybody was responding so well to it. We're like, well, we know this might be outside the boundaries of any place that we could actually really go with it, but we just got to do it anyway. And then, in taking that a little further, that's why we're all here today. Because if we're going to do it, then, we got to tell everybody. If not, I'm doing them a disservice. So we come here today to get to that point of what has now grown into Electroshine. It's very much done in the whole philosophy of the Mafia, and that is, if there's greatness, then it should be brought together in any way. We hold no boundaries or prejudices against any other kind of music. Wherever it may come from, it can come to the University of Creativity and create. And at this point in time, the thing we're focusing on creating is music that makes people want to dance. So, that kind of gives you a little bit of a backup. I think they're going to send you some assets that'll probably even give you more on that, because today we're here to talk about our next release, which is going to happen September 3rd. I'm going to give you one more little background. I want to go back to the Dance Upon the Solid Ground, our first song. This will give you a real feel for the vision, the visuals that we put together with it in the beginning, that we went, whoa, this is our audience, and this is our dream. This has come true. I think that creativity, all in all, I've always been inspired. You know, there's been things that have inspired me. You know, we've built this place here, the University of Creativity, as a place that I hope would inspire other people. I know that I've been in other people's studios, been around other artists, been around other talents. You know, I mean, I go to the National Arboretum, I'm blown away. You know, it's just wherever there is great inspiration, then others are inspired by it. So a lot of times there might be something that inspires the start of it, as I told you, the culmination of events that came together to bring us on this. When I first said I'm going to start putting stuff to dance music, the first thing we experimented with was Amazing Grace. I ought to play you a thumping version of Amazing Grace. And then I played it down at the National Day of Prayer. They asked me to come down there. And why was I inspired to do that? Because, well, I think every idea, when something really great hits me in the head, it comes from a place other than what I am. And I'm but an instrument to turn it into badassness, so people will party and jump up and down and do what they do. Yeah, that's what it gives you. It's different every time, man. Every time. I even got inspired last night as I'm rubbing blisters on my hands, trying to adjust irrigation heads and planting stuff so we can keep the Arboretum here growing up. I really believe that this whole place is going to inspire masses, and that's my prayer. Yeah.